On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be having a look at DC Universe Wave 3, or the Dust Wave, the Solomon Grundy Wave. Today we're looking at Figure 2, Deathstroke the Terminator. Now before we actually look at the figure, look at the packaging. And as I've already jokingly said, I think you can actually make out how much dust there is on this figure. Oh boy, that is a lot of dust. Guaranteed I'm going to be sneezing a lot when I'm doing a review on this one. But as you can see, a typical starburst effect, the orange background. The Deathstroke kind of blends in with the background, aside of course from the blue aspects of the figure. The figure does come with the right arm of Solomon Grundy, and on the back of the packaging, the other figures in this wave. Buy all 5 to build your collect and connect Solomon Grundy figure. It is funny to note. I'll just pan this up a bit. It is funny to note that they put buy all. Generally, most common practice for figures where you collect stuff, usually it says collect all 5 to build your collect and connect. I guess Mattel basically said, well, screw that, let's just say buy all 5. Let's not mix words. Let's just tell the kids you have to buy all 5 to collect and connect. Oh, Mattel. But the other figures in this wave are Sinestro, Deathstroke the Terminator, Nightwing, Robin, and Green Lantern. So far, Robin is the figure to get of this wave. Will any figure knock him out of that top spot? I really don't know. We'll have to see. Biography on Deathstroke the Terminator. Decorated military veteran Slade Wilson served his country one last time by volunteering for, oh no, an adrenocorticotropic hormone experiments. Wow, that was a mess. These experiments were supposed to increase the brain activity and reflexes of its subjects, creating super-enhanced soldiers. But the subjects died or, like Wilson, were left crippled in a vegetative state. But Wilson began to recuperate, discovering that his strength, agility, and stamina had all increased nearly tenfold. He assumed the identity of Deathstroke the Terminator, assassin for hire. Because that's what you usually do. If you are ever in a vegetative state, just to give a heads up to anyone, if you're ever in a vegetative state and then you find that you start recuperating and your abilities, strength, everything else is increased tenfold, you got to become an assassin. That's the way to go, assassin. Statistics. First appearance, The New Teen Titans, number 2, December 1980. Real name Slade Wilson. Occupation, mercenary. Base of operations, mobile. In other words, he doesn't have a base of operations. Special abilities, mentally powerful. Mentally powerful. Awesome. Quick reflexes, accomplished hunter and tracker, expert with all types of weaponry. So there you go. I'm already starting to sniffle. That's not a good sign. I'm thinking this guy's going to be dusty. But let's get old dusty Deathstroke out of his package, and we will get a better look at the figure. So stay tuned, guys. And Deathstroke is now out of the package. I took a little longer to get this guy out of the package just so I could actually dust him off. Very embarrassing that I do a review of him and there's dust all over the figure, so I quickly just dusted off some of the parts on the figure. Still, he's a little dusty. I'm so ashamed. But before we actually look at the figure itself, checklist time. Checklist time. You were looking for the other arm of Solomon Grundy, at least the right arm of Solomon Grundy. He comes with Deathstroke here. We'll take Solomon Grundy and take his right arm, snap it into place. Snap it into place. I'll just move the arm up a bit there. And boom, boom, just like that. There you go. So now Solomon Grundy is a very powerful stump. He's going to have to hop over. But will he get his legs? I don't know. You're just going to have to find out. But there's Solomon Grundy, top half done. Done. So now let's look at the actual figure Deathstroke here. And a very nice looking figure. I don't know if I'd necessarily knock Robin out of the top spot, but Deathstroke here definitely is a contender. A very nice looking figure. And I'm still got the dust all over his hands. But a really, really nice looking figure. Packed to the rim with accessories. And maybe what we'll do is we'll touch... Actually, you know what? We won't do accessories just yet, because let's actually worry about the articulation. First of all, as you can see, he's very nicely detailed. He's got like the metallic scales on his top torso at here. Just wipe away some of that. Very nice orange. The blue is a little dingy, but I mean, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And I like his little, we want to call it a little not bandana, but his little ribbon. I think that's really, really nice. In the way of his articulation, he has an articulated head, which moves a little more freely than the Robin figure because he just doesn't have as much interfering with the neck here. He has an ball-jointed shoulder. He has a swivel bicep. You can bend at the elbow. You can rotate the hand, and you can bend the torso, rotate the waist. Oh, I think you guys know where this is going. You can bend the leg out, front and back. You can rotate the thigh, and actually the thigh is right below the belt, the leg belt here. You can bend the knee, and you can also bend the foot. His hilt just came off, but I mean that shouldn't be too much of a problem getting that back in. And a very nice looking hilt too. There's a hilt or a holster. Is it? I guess it's a holster. Very nice looking holster. And he's got like a little holster for his gun on the other side here as well. A very nice looking figure. And then this is certainly where the figure excels, is his array of accessories that he comes with. We'll go through them individually. First thing, he does come with a little handgun. Which is nicely detailed. The handgun can fit very well into his holster here. Like that. He got his gun in his holster. He does come with a sword. Very nice. All of which too you can put in his hand if should you wish to have him hold it instead. The only downside though is just the way his hands are. I think to get him to hold the sword just right, you kind of have to turn the sword this way. Obviously, many people don't hold swords this way. They tend to hold it this way. As soon as you hold it sideways, though, or the correct way, he tends to be really loose. So to hold it tight, you kind of have to turn it ever so slightly to get it. See, it's not holding very well. But the sword can slide into his holster, just like that. Oh, the holster fell off yet again. And we'll just clip that back into place. There we go. Other accessories that he comes with his rifle, which you can actually loop. What's a good way to loop this? Maybe we'll loop it back here. And we'll peg it into place. There's a little strap, I think you guys can see it. There's a little strap and you just tab it into, there's a little clip at the back of the gun here. It's like he's getting dressed. He's getting dressed to go kill somebody. And we'll just clip it into place. Certainly a lot harder when you're doing it on camera. And clip it into, let's see here. There we go. Now, I find the gun of all the accessories doesn't seem to want to stay very well. You kind of have to get it on, and there we go. That's what I wanted. See, clips right actually onto the back of the handle, and now it's not going to go anywhere. And finally, his last accessory, he does come with a staff. The staff, really, there is, from what I can tell, I think you might be able to clip it in here because there's a little clip opening at the back here. You've got to pry it open just a slight bit. I think the staff can be held at the back. And I'm sure somebody's going to comment down below and say, well, yeah, man, you can, of course you put the staff in there. Mine's a little pinched right now. But yeah, it looks like you can actually clip the staff in here. My clip's a little pinched together, so I might actually have to just spread these out. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to get it, but it does look like you can actually get the staff in there. I think if anything, I probably will just have him holding his staff, because you got to give him some weapon to hold, right? Here we go. So overall impressions of the figure, I would say it is a nice figure. I think if anything, it's one downside, and it's really not its fault, but I think the one downside to the figure is the fact that I'm not a big fan of Deathstroke the Terminator. I certainly haven't followed him enough in comics. Had I probably followed him more in the comics, I probably would like this figure a lot more than what I do. But I think I still like the Robin a little bit better than this guy. Now the Robin I gave a 9 to. The Deathstroke I probably would give a good solid 8. Good solid 8. Ways to improve the figure. I think the figure is nice the way it is. Maybe the blue could have been a little nicer, or a little darker than what it was. But still a really decent figure, and I'd give it an 8. So that was a toy spot on the DC Universe Wave 3, the Solomon Grundy wave. This guy was very dusty too, but that was the Deathstroke Terminator figure. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys for the remaining reviews of the DC Universe Wave 3. Will Solomon Grundy get finished? Yeah, you're just going to have to watch and find out. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Later.